I'm back in our discussions, a new video, connection of what we did previously. Remember, we've been introduced into a new topic about the mapping and functions. Like so, previously we discussed something about the mappings, what to define what mappings are, and I hope by now we know that the mappings are just relations, ships that show the link between members of two sets. Right, so today we are there now going to discuss types of relations or types of mappings. So the mappings you learned in the previous video, they are in categories. And more importantly, we have got 4 types of mappings, or call them as relationships. Right, so whatever you're going to present in the arrow diagram of the mappings, right, and remember mappings are presented in the form of the arrow diagram. Use the arrows. You expect that say whatever presentation you make will fall in any of the 4 types that we're going to discuss here. Right, so let's take ourselves into business. We will start looking at the first type of mapping, and this one is defined as a one-to-one mapping. Right, so allow me to replace the board perfectly well, since we know we are discussing about the types of mappings. Right, we say there are 4. The first one, we call it the one-to-one mapping, or call it relation. Right, so now if we were to define what type of mappings are described as one-to-one relations or one-to-one mapping. These types of relations are all those relations where each member of a particular set, the first set, relates to one member of another set. So just like there's one-to-one correspondence. Right. One talk of maybe each member of a set, maybe set A, defined as one particular set. This one relates to specifically one member of the other set. Call it set B. For example, we can have here by our diagrams, I'll have the first set defined by that, another set defined by this. The 2 sets are sets A and B. These sets are related by is half of. The relationship that exists between set A and B is the half of. Right, is half of. So which means here I'll have values or members of set A and set B, and we should be able to link which one is half of the other. I have a 2, I have a 4, I have 6, I have 8. Here I've got a 4, 8, talk of 12, and 16. So you'll be able to link members in A with members in B. So if we are going to produce mapping in this case, you talk of 2 is a half of 4. And then 4 is a half of 8. 6 is a half of 12. And 8 is a half of 16. So look at the presentation of the arrow diagram here. About 2 categories of set described by the relation is half of. You find that 2 just maps onto 4. 4 relates to 8, 6, 12 only, 8, 16 only. So this type of relationship is what is defined as what? One-to-one mapping or one-to-one relation. Let's look at the second one. Right. The second one is described as the relation or a mapping that considers many to one relation. So number 2, we have got many to one relation or mapping. You can call it as a mapping, no problem, or call it what? A relation, just like one word. Right. So here it's just like one set is linked. Several members of one set are linked to one member in the other set. A relation where one member of a particular set, like say set B, this one corresponds to many start from 2 members of the other set, or it may be set A. The arrow diagram here will also give you a story. Look at this. I have got one set here represented by that figure, another set here represented by same kind of figure. And this is set A, this is set B. So in set A, we have got 5 members like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And what do you have in B? We have got a 2, we have got a 3, we have got a 5. Right. What relationship is there between set A and B? Set A and B are linked in such a way that relationship of which is described that is a multiple of. Is a multiple of. This is the relationship that connects set A and set B. So if you can try now to draw some arrows to show the mappings, you'll be able to see that what could be the multiple of a 5? It's a number divided by 5 in the other set B. So you talk of a 5 can be divided by another 5 here. And you talk of a 10 can be divided by a 2. 15 can be divided by a 3. 20 can be divided by a 2. 25 can be divided by 5. And 30 can be divided by 3. Right. So this kind of relationship is known as the many to one. Many to one type of what? Relationship. Right. You can see here there are several which are mapped onto one. There's 25 and 5 mapped onto a 5. That is already many. Many start from 2. Right. You have got this 3 is mapped by 15, is linking 15. And also what? 30. Right. So that relationship is defined as the many to one. Right. We have another type of the relation that is defined as the relation that is a one to many. We have many to one. Now we'll talk of one to many. Right. What type of relation is defined as one to many? Right. So this is relation number 3. Right. One to many relation. Right. So by the definition itself, you'll be able to see that say by the type itself you can be able to define that say one to many, you talk of one which is mapped to several in the other set. So here we're talking of members of set A, members of a particular set. Say for example set A, just an example, this one relates 2 more than 1 that's a member of the other set, that is, call it as set B. So two sets. It's not only A and B that defines up the set, but here we're just talking of the what could be the possible sets as such. So talk of A and B. Right. Good example of such kind of relationship can also be presented on the diagram here, and you will always have them outside there where we can be able to pick up the relationship that exists between two sets for the members as such. So here we may have a relation connecting two sets, this one and this one. Right. This we talk of is a square of. That's the type of relationship connecting this set and that set. So here we have got set A and set B defined by is a square of. So like for example, members of A, we have 4, 1, while members in B, we have got -2, -1, 1, and a +2. Right. Square of a number multiplied by itself to give you a particular value. Like if we're going to square a 2, we get a 4. So 4 is the square of a 2. I square this +2, it gives me a 4. So it means this 2 is also the square of a 4. I square a 1, I square -1, it gives me +1. So it means this +1 is the square of -1. And then talk of this +1, so be squared, it gives you a 1 again. So it means 1 is the square of 1. So as you can see here, we talk of members of one set. In that one is related to several. Only 4 is related to this and this. 1 is related to 1, -1, and +1. So such type of relations are defined as or they are in the category of one-to-many relation. Lastly, we have what we call it a set, a relation that is defined as many-to-many. Many-to-many relation. Right. Have many-to-many relation. Many-to-many relation. But the type itself, again, you can be able to see that here we're talking of the several or say more than one members in one set, the link with more than one members in the other set. So by definition, since it's very important for us to understand this one very well, you will be able to at least refer to the following info. Say where we have got some values. We talk of some values of set, just a particular set. It's not always A as a set, it's just like a presentation of a particular set. Set A corresponds to more than one value of the other set, like here of the set B, just for example, but talk of the one set and the other set. The one set can be defined as A, the other one as B. Right? Clarification of this in diagram, it means this. As an example, we have here still more an R diagram is important. We have that one and this one here. So here I've got set A and here set B. So what we have in A are members like 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Set A has got such members. While set B have got 30, talk over 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Let's see the connection between A and B, or what links set A and B. So the relationship between A and B is defined by, is a factor of, in between here, is a factor of, right? So by what we discussed earlier, you can be able to pinpoint which one is a factor of the other one. So like here, you'll be able to see that 2 is a factor of 30. 2 is a factor of 30. 3 is a factor of 30. 4 is a factor of 32. 5 is a factor of 35. 6 is a factor of 30. And we also have what? 3 is also a factor of 33. I think that's all. What about 34? We have got a 2 here. That should also map onto 34. So you can see that these members here, we talk over some members in here, are corresponding to more than one value. Yes, we have got some there. Like this one, 2 has got 30, has got what? 34. Can talk over what else? 3 has got 30 and what? 33. So this is a many-to-one type of relationship. Right. Now, let us discuss this problem with the board and try to figure out the type of relation in this example. These, by what we have had here, are the main 4 types of relations. Right. Now, let us head towards the last part, where we have an assignment here on the board that we need at least to discuss. Right. What I have, it's more like an exercise of that kind, but we're going to work together here. Right. So what we have here is just a question or just an activity whereby we're asked to link members on this chart here. Look at this. We have got items on this chart. Look them closely. Right, it's just a simple activity we'll do. If we can go through, we have got items such like petrol, water, and here we have class. This is just like a classroom. This bed, this car, this politician, soldier, pillow, gun, crops, president, rains, student, fish, and the uniform. Now, what we're going to do with this one, at the end part of it, we are asked to link. That's a by arrow diagram. We have to draw the arrow diagrams here. Elements, right, of the stated elements. We have arrow diagram of the we have to link by arrow diagram elements stated right on the chart. So everything that we're talking about here, you know, it means you have got 2 categories of sets that we can form from these items here. So like us to link, at the very end, we have to state the type of relation. Right. What type of relationship exists here? Right. So now I've just given you the guide. We have got two categories of items here. One category is the one that has got stars inlaid, right? There's the class, there's bed, there's car, there's the gun, there's president, there's crops, there's the student, and the fish. Other items does not contain the star. So it means we have got two groups in this case, one with star, the other one is not with star. So if we are there to at least come up with the arrow diagram as a student, I think you'll be able in the position just to connect up the relationship that exists between individual items. That's what we have there. So let us maybe try to light all the items in stars in one set and the other category in the other set. So what we have here, it'll be like I have got the first diagram here, this one, and the other one, it will be this one here. Two sets. This first set is defined by talk of set T, the other one set H. Right. So in this one, the star has class, bed, there's a car, there's gun, there's crops, there's president, and then we also have the student, and finally fish, members with stars. Members which have got no stars here, we have got the petrol, then water, we have got what you can also see here, the politician, soldier, pillow, then you talk of what, rains, and finally uniform. Right. So that's what we have in the chart. So can we try to link up the members in set T and set H? So by this, that's the end part, we'll be able to bear with me that a class ranks the what? A student. Or a class in this case has got something that is related to the what? If we are to link what we have here and what we have here, we'll be able to see if we can connect a class, will be connected with the uniform. Right. Here we are referring to issue about the students as such. A class that is a uniformed class should have uniform. That's from the students. A bed, in this case, will be able to be linked with what? A pillow. At least there must be a pillowcase when people are sleeping. Find that pillowcase and bed are linked. Car, that's a fuel, petrol, and somewhere the car may also require water. Gun, here we talk of what? A soldier, the one who works with a gun, not another person. That is legal. Crops, crops need rains and also water. So we link it to that one. And then we have got the president. President, by that description, is a politician. So president is linked with politician. And then we have got a student here, always has to be in uniform for him to be in class. And finally fish demands water. Right. So if you can be able to see what is here, you'll be able to have got several members in one, also linked to several members in B. You talk of a car, needs petrol and water. You talk of crops, needs rain and water, such things. So here we may be able to deduce that this type of relationship is defined as many to many. Right. Right. So this is a many to many relationship. It ends like that. Right. So by this, I would call it a day. I have all hope that you learners, you have at least now understood the types of mapping. Right. So next we meet, we are going to introduce ourselves into what we call it as the function. So you stay put to that particular instance when we introduce that video to you. link yourself, follow the link here, in case we have all those guys who have just joined us for the first time, and you are also requested to go further and start all over from topic 1. The videos, the same link we provide you. Let's meet again in the next topic. Thank you very much.